from NBC News. This is Today with Savannah Guthrie and Craig Melvin, live from Studio 1A in Rockefeller Plaza.
And a very good morning to you. Welcome to Today. Thank you so much for starting your Thursday with us. Hoda remains with us while Savannah remains with her family.
And that is where we'll start the desperate search for her mom, Nancy. Authorities reporting a dramatic increase in new tips, receiving more than 4,000 calls since those chilling surveillance images were released on Tuesday.
And now some of Nancy's neighbors say they've received alerts from investigators requesting footage from their own security cameras for specific dates and times.
This all comes amid continued shows of support for the Guthrie family across Tucson and around the country.
We've got the very latest this morning, including a closer look at the important role that home security cameras play in investigations like this. But once again, we start with NBC's Liz Croyce on the ground for us there in Tucson. Liz, good morning.
Hi, Craig. Hi, Hoda. Good morning to both of you. It has now been 12 days since Nancy Guthrie went missing and a week since officials have held any kind of press briefing. We know that investigators are painstakingly going through all of those tips that are pouring in as they canvass the neighborhood, potentially coming across new leads. This morning, 12 days since Savannah's 84-year-old mother was taken from her home, investigators still have no suspect or person of interest in custody. Authorities are continuing to scour the area. Overnight, investigators telling our Tucson affiliate KVOA that a pair of black gloves were located in the search and have been submitted for DNA analysis. It all comes after that disturbing footage was released from Nancy Guthrie's home. And now, KVOA also reporting that Nancy's neighbors who have Ring doorbell cameras received an alert from investigators requesting video from specific dates and times. The dates, January 11th between 9 p.m. and midnight, which is more than 3 weeks before Nancy disappeared, and the morning of January 31st between 9:30 and 11 a.m. Since the video from Nancy's Nest doorbell camera was released, an outpouring of tips have come in. According to the Pima County Sheriff's Department, it's received 18,000 calls since February 1st when Nancy went missing and 4,000 since those first images of the suspect emerged.
Now, there's a lot of leads in there that aren't going to be legitimate, but there's some that absolutely are, and that's what they're going to be focusing on.
One man was detained Tuesday and then later released several hours later after authorities searched a property near the Mexican border, according to a statement from Pima County. And yesterday, FBI agents and sheriff's detectives fanning out again in the Catalina foothills. Neighbor David Romano says investigators have made at least 2 visits to his home.
Detectives have come twice and asked us, for our names, what kind of cars we drive, and if we have a truck.
They're asking for a truck?
Yeah, they've been asking for a truck.
With no clues to share, Romano is now joining his neighbors in a new show of support for Savannah's family, putting yellow flowers at Nancy's home, a traditional symbol of hope. And now, at our local NBC station here in Tucson, where Savannah once worked, a banner hangs with the family's 3-word appeal: bring her home. And reporters at that station have actually been encouraging people to go down there and sign that banner in a show of support. We really have seen an incredible outpouring of love here from the community. But understandably, it has also really rattled a lot of people. Some of the neighbors and Nancy's community have told us that they have now installed new surveillance cameras in their homes and activated their alarm systems. One man telling us it's the first time he's done that in years. Craig.
Liz Croyce for us there in Arizona, starting us off. Liz, thank you. For a closer look now at where the investigation goes from here, let's bring in Tom Winter, NBC's national law enforcement and intelligence correspondent. Tom, good morning once again. 4,000 tips since that video, that chilling video and those images came out. How do they decide which ones are most important? How do they sift through all of those?
Sure. I mean, people hear that and they must think it's going to take days, weeks even, to go through all those tips. And so what the FBI has set up, and I've seen this in the past and talked with them in the past about it, they get a call to that 1-800-CALL-FBI number, and obviously all the details are taken down. And then it's passed along to an analyst. It's put in the FBI's Guardian system. That's where they track all the leads. That lead is given a number. Your phone call is given a number, and they follow up on it, and they say, okay, what is the priority of this? Is this somebody sharing with us some general observations, or are they sharing us some information that might be very specific to the investigation that needs to be worked now? From there, it's passed along to detectives or to FBI special agents for them to begin to start that investigation. So as an example, Hoda, if you ran a sporting goods or a hiking store in the Tucson area and you picked up the phone and called and said, okay, I saw somebody with that backpack come into my store to buy that jacket. Oh, by the way, also bought this type of holster or the sneakers or something like that. I might have surveillance video of this person without a mask. They seem suspicious to me. It was about a month ago. That would be something that would be a higher priority. And what you would see then is a special agent go out to actually talk to you, see if you have those records, perhaps a name, and the case gets jumping from there. So they do prioritize those leads. They're hopeful that they've got some leads that they can start to work. How fast that goes or where that goes from there is something we'll be tracking throughout the day.
We're showing lots of video of investigators just walking around looking for things. They're walking around Nancy Guthrie's property in and around. What are they searching for? And does that black glove have anything to do with anything?
Sure. So, you know, one of the first observations we had when we saw that Nest doorbell camera, there doesn't appear to be a car there. This person is on foot. And so were they traveling through the neighborhood? As our analyst Jim Kavanaugh said, did they camp out overnight? So you're hoping that they left anything behind. Is that black glove something that belongs to an investigator who had already been through the area? Does it belong to somebody who is hiking? Does it belong to somebody who could be responsible for taking Nancy Guthrie out of their home? That's something that they want to work towards. When they talk about DNA, that also involves a national database, CODIS. They'll see if that has any sort of a tie back to somebody with a prior criminal record.
This door cam footage that we're showing right now, Tom, it's been 2 days since the FBI put that footage out. What are they doing with the images that they were able to get from that door cam?
So one of the things, and this started before the video was released, what the FBI will do is they'll look for that specific backpack. And it's definitely sold at some retailers. And so they'll look for that and say, okay, who is selling it? Who is selling it in the general Tucson area? And then they'll go back and they'll look at all the purchases. And they'll do that over the last month, 6 months even, and say, okay, of all these names, do they match up with any other names that we're starting to hear in this investigation? Cross-reference those things together, start to pull the information. I've seen it in the past in some very prominent cases. They'll pull the surveillance video. Do we have a credit card that's used? Even if they don't, if they have cash, maybe they can use it against a facial recognition database. Start to develop some names and some people that you can start to surveil and quickly move in on. That's the hope today, is that this will now start to generate all these leads. All this video will start to generate actionable things where you can maybe start to put some people under surveillance and hopefully handcuffs and some answers.
That is the hope today. That is the hope. Thank you, my friend. Appreciate you, Tom. Again, the number right there on your screen. If you have any information, 1-800-CALL-FBI. And, of course, we'll continue to bring you the latest developments throughout the morning.